look at the time, I'll try to keep this brief. After 28 years of peacock logos on much of what I own, it is my choice now to jump without a net into the great unknown, as I do for the first time in my 62 years. My biggest worry is for my country. The truth is, I'm not a liberal or a conservative. I'm an institutionalist. I believe in this place, and in my love of country, I yield to no one. But the darkness on the edge of town has spread to the main roads and highways and neighborhoods. It's now at the local bar and the bowling alley, at the school board and the grocery store, and it must be acknowledged and answered for. Grown men and women who swore an oath to our Constitution, elected by their constituents, possessing the kinds of college degrees I could only dream of, have decided to join the mob and become something they are not, while hoping we somehow forget who they were. They decided to burn it all down with us inside. That should scare you to no end as much as it scares an aging volunteer fireman. To my coworkers, my love and thanks, and I say again, everyone I've worked with has made me better at what I do. To my family, love and thanks doesn't begin to cover it, but now I have the time to better express it. My friends know who they are. No one's been blessed with better friends. To the guests on this broadcast, as you heard the nice man say a few minutes ago, it's always been about you. Otherwise, I'd be staring into the camera for an hour, 5 nights a week, and nobody wants to see that. You are the 11th hour and will continue to be the 11th hour. This is where I thank you, however, for being so great, for explaining these last 5 years. As a proud New Jersey native, this is where I get to say regrets. I've had a few, but then again, too few to mention. What a ride it's been. Where else, how else was a kid like me going to meet presidents and kings and the occasional rock star?
So we'll cut it right there, folks. Welcome back to truth.spasm.media. This is Brian Williams signing off from MSNBC. As you heard his warning, he seems to think there is darkness. Now, I had sent this out to a few people over Instagram and otherwise to kind of get people's opinions to see how they felt about what he was saying. And it felt a little mixed at first. And then I had talked to a buddy of mine about how he thought, it was meant to be. And we decided that was potentially meant to be ambiguous in a sense of warning and a warning against the other side. And it really depends on who's listening and how you're listening and what you consider the mob to be. Because what we have at this point is we could refer to the mobs of the summer of 2020. We could refer to the mobs that are trying to tear down statues. But the thing that I think some people forget is there was a mob at January 6th, and whether that was ran by psychological operations agents or not, it was a mob, and there were mobs on all sides, all perceived sides of things, whether you want to make a case against the far right or the far left. What Brian Williams is doing here is he's agitating. Before he leaves, he's agitating. He's doing what the legacy media pundits, agents, the Bolshevik agents have done the whole time. And that is, they're trying to scare you against one thing or another. And it's seemingly never going to stop. They're just going to bring in younger people who have more rhetoric to drive the population into neurosis further. And from what it looks like, this is just opinion of mine, but it looks like they want to edge on every neurosis point possible to get people all fired up, to get people ready to go, whether that means just sending out spicy memes to agitate each other, or to actually get people to want to take action, further action, hot action. So take it for what you will. Maybe Brian Williams will give some insight on that at some point. Kind of let us know what exactly he's talking about, because from the look of things, he was very vague in some ways as to what mobs, what groups of people he was talking about specifically. Chances are he's talking about whatever you want him to be talking about, because that's one of the creative things to do. If you sociopaths do this, propagandists do this, salespeople do this. It's a tool that you use to keep things ambiguous, so people can use their imagination, so people can be creative on their own, and they can use their own confirmation bias to go along with whatever it is that they're trying to do. They're trying to elicit from you. And sometimes it's like just A/B testing to see what you're doing, what you do with that information, what you do with that opinion. Anyways, next we have Chris Wallace, who is sharing a goodbye with Fox News on Sunday, only to turn around and join CNN Plus the next day. This is legacy media, folks, and this is some prime beef evidence as to why there's no reason to believe that these stations, these networks, are all that different from each other. Is CNN terrible? Does CNN lie, strawman, and gaslight on a regular basis? Absolutely. But Fox News does the same thing in a different way. And at the end of the day, Brian Williams' message kind of speaks to that, and what I was just getting at speaks to that. As long as you can be kept in a constant state of agitation, neurosis, and driving into psychosis, the Mouseviks will get what they want, which is chaos. At this point, this is chaos. They want chaos. They need there to be this divide. And as the revolution moves forward, it's going to be called a civil war. And that's just the way things are going to be. It's going to be framed by pseudo, and you could say faux revolutionaries on the quote-unquote right. People that I might not even consider conservative are going to act like revolutionaries from their couch, or they're going to get up and they're going to act out in the wrong places, on the wrong people, in the wrong institutions, most likely at the wrong time. But they're also going to be framed as domestic terrorists. They're going to be framed as people like you and me. We're going to be bunched in, lumped in, just like you've already been. I don't know about you guys, but I am not a pro-Trumper or an anti-Trumper. I spoke out against Trump when he was running. I also spoke out against Clinton. I spoke out against everyone who I thought was dangerous. And I think these people have severe personality disorders, and they are dangerous. Whether they're sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissists, or have some other borderline or antisocial personality disorder, I think it's to be noted that not much of this is by mistake. A lot of it is by design. Now, I do think there's more to get into in terms of talking about Clinton and Trump, how they got into the positions they did, and what that means. But overall, what I'm telling you right now is it's becoming clear with Chris Wallace leaving Fox News and going to CNN, and CNN pundits and all these liberal, quote-unquote liberal pundits. I don't consider these people liberals, by the way. I actually consider myself a lot more liberal than these people. A lot of these people are absolutely programmed, demoralized agents of chaos. But, we call them media pundits, we call them talking heads, whatever we will. I don't think these people are actually people who give a shit or damn about you or your loved ones or your community or informing you on the truth whatsoever. Now, that's just my opinion, but that's generally how legacy media has been going for quite a while. And the deeper we dig into some of these rabbit holes of what's been going on all these years, we start to see what is actually going on and who is actually trying to tell you the truth. In a statement, Fox News Media said, "We are extremely proud of our journalism and the stellar team that Chris Wallace was part of for 18 years. The legacy of Fox News Sunday will continue with our star journalists, many of whom rotate in the position until a permanent host is named." It's no mistake that they use the term "the legacy." They know their legacy media. It's not a secret. These are commonly known things among us. So, pay attention, everyone. Make sure you're aware of how you're being steered by the media. Truth.spasm.media isn't here to tell you how to think and what to think. It's to help you sort and sift through reality, to try to find objective reality, to try to come together so we can understand what is actually going on. We are not here to divide you. We are not here to be ambiguous. We would like to discuss the truth, your opinion of the truth, and everything that has to do with the truth. Carry on, and always stay strong, warriors.